The NBA announced the All-Star starters for both conferences. In the East, you have Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwight Howard. In the West, you had Kobe Bryant, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, and Andrew Bynum rounding out the top five. Really good starting five for both conferences, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to give you guys my predictions for the All-Star reserve spots for both conferences, and I'll get right into it with the West. And the two most guaranteed spots that I believe are for the reserve spots is Kevin Love, who's had a spectacular year this year, just a ridiculous beast. He's had double-doubles in pretty much every game outside of two. He's averaging 25 points and 14 rebounds this year, and the Timberwolves have picked up their play and certainly have been better than past years. And then LaMarcus Aldridge is my other forward, and he's also a shoo-in for an All-Star nod this year. He's had a spectacular year, 23 points and almost 8 rebounds a game, the leader of that Portland Trail Blazers team ever since the departure of Brandon Roy. Guards, I'm going with Steve Nash, who's had a resurrection year, and I shouldn't even say resurrection because he's been phenomenal, and he just keeps getting better with age. He's 38 now, and he's still leading the league in assists. Steve Nash has been amazing for the Suns, 15 and 10. I'm giving him the nod for that guard spot, and then Russell Westbrook as the other guard in the West. He hasn't really had a better year than last year when he averaged about 8.5 assists a game, but his scoring has still been there. He's almost averaging about 22 points per game. As I said, 5.5 assists and 4.5 rebounds. Clearly the second best player on that OKC Thunder team. And then the last three spots for the West. This is where it gets a little bit controversial because they could go either way. But the three players that I'm going with, and I'll start with Paul Millsap, who has been spectacular for the Utah Jazz, who have been one of the surprises of the Western Conference. He's averaging 17 points and almost 10 rebounds a game. He's really improved this year. He's got the face-up game, the jump shot, the drive-in. He's always been a ferocious rebounder, just an all-around great player, Paul Millsap. And then I have Rudy Gay, who gets in a little bit by default because the West doesn't have a legit small forward outside of Kevin Durant, and Rudy Gay has been playing really good ball. As of late, he's averaging 18 points and 6.5 rebounds on the year, and he's the leader of that Grizzlies team with Zach Randolph out, so I'll give him the nod. And then my last spot, let me know what you guys think of this, Marcin Gortat. Yes, I said it, the Polish Hammer, who's averaging 15 points and 10 rebounds a game, and has been ridiculously good this year because he's got 13 double-doubles in his last 14 games. No player outside of Kevin Love has had a better stretch, a better run over that stretch in terms of doubles. And I'm giving it to Marcin Gortat. You deserve it, and he gets the nod over Marc Gasol for that center spot in the West. Moving on to the East, start with Chris Bosh of the Miami Heat, who's been probably their second best player. You could go either way. He's been solid regardless with 20 points and 8 rebounds a game. Really picked up the scoring when Dwayne Wade went out. Deserves a spot. Then I have Joe Johnson, solid player as always. 19 points per game this year. Really picked up his scoring. With Al Horford down with injury, has the Hawks playing really well. And then I'll put in Josh Smith along with the Joe Johnson because Josh Smith deserves the spot. He's been deserving of the spot for quite some time now, but this may be the year he finally gets it. He's been solid this year, having good all-around stats, almost 9 rebounds a game, at about 15 points. And next, I have Luol Deng, who deserves an all-star spot for so long and should finally get it now. He has been the second best player on the best team in the East, and Luol Deng is as solid as it gets. You're talking about 16 points, 7 rebounds, leader, solid defense, best defender on that team. Luol Deng deserves that spot, bar none, and if he doesn't get it, it's going to be an abomination. Luol Deng deserves that spot. Then I have Darren Williams in the backcourt, and he's really the only player that the Nets have that's been decent this year, and no disrespect to Chris Humphries, obviously, but I just feel sorry for you Nets fans, man. Watching this team is just atrocious. But Darren Williams has been the one bright spot, averaging 20 points, 8.5 assists. I'll give it to D-Will. And in the backcourt, joining D-Will, I'll have Brandon Jennings, who has kept Milwaukee at 500 with Andrew Bogut gone. He's been spectacular this year, averaging 20 points per game, career high in his third year, and really, really playing good ball for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think he deserves a spot, and I'll give it to him. And then the man in the middle for the East, backup center with Al Horford out, it's going to be Roy Hibbert. I really believe the Pacers deserve a player, and I don't see anybody getting in outside of Al Horford, who's been solid this year with 14 points and almost 10 rebounds a game and more than a block a game. And then my last, and I believe that's about 7 right there. Let's run that list down. Chris Bosh, Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Luol Deng, Darren Williams, Roy Hibbert, and Brandon Jennings. That is your East All-Star Reserves. And let me just run down the West All-Star Reserves again for you. Kevin Love, LaMarcus Aldridge, Russell Westbrook, Steve Nash, Marcin Gortat, Paul Millsap, and Rudy Gay. That is all, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and I will see you guys next video. Peace.